There was also the time when Rich Evans from Red Letter Media offhandedly called him a prick.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Right featured Batman shouting, "Tell that to Zod, snap now." The internet.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this.
See, I grew up in a very mixed.
Oh no. Oh my god, I remember this. Oh my god. Oh my lord.
2 minutes are a low-energy sponsor read, followed by 2 minutes of the basic plot overview that you could find on IMDb, and then 1 minute of non-committal interject.
No, Chris, what happened? You got Stuckmanized. No, you got Stuckmanized. Chris, like, you're a millionaire. Why do you want to have, like these, like, very strange sponsorships that you know for a fact that you will get called out for?
Video sponsored by. In terms of federal law, you fucking need to say that. You need to disclose whether or not this is an ad.
Really? Wait, that was a sponsored video? Hello everyone, this is LizardBrains speaking, and today is going to be an interesting video. This is going to be my first ever reaction video. I never did one of these in the past, but I really want to start posting more often on this channel, so I think reacting to like content is probably like the best way because it's easier to produce, and like it's literally just gonna be my live voice, and I don't think, and it's probably gonna work out. There might be some flaws like during like the first couple of videos, but eventually I probably will figure them out. Anyways, the first ever video I'm gonna be reacting to is a video called "The Tragic Decline of Chris Stuckmann" from Firewood Media. I'm a fan of Firewood Media. I really like his videos. He made a video a while back on McJuggernuggets. He's been lately kind of like he used to do like a lot of Godzilla and Gamera content, but now he's kind of deviating. He's kind of like well, I would say like he's deviating from it. He's more so like trying to expand upon his content and make other different types of videos. And he made one on McJuggernuggets. I thought that was a really good video. If you guys want me to react to it. I'm not sure it will be a good reaction because I already seen the video, but if you guys want me to, I will love to react to it because it is a really good video and I do like this content creator. But he just posted a video on Chris Stuckmann. I used to be a big fan of Chris Stuckmann back in the day, up until like, unfortunately, like a few years passed because he used to do like a lot of like good content like the Hilariosity reviews and just generally was a good film critic. Eventually, like I think once he got his film greenlighted, Shelby Oaks. I'm not sure. I'm not sure like how good the movie is. I haven't seen like any reviews, and I heard that it was, and I hope it did like decently well. I seen like the box office. It seemed like it did fine overall. Fine overall. And some people did like at least I did saw the Rotten Tomatoes score. It was not so great, but I think people somewhat liked it. I hope so. Anyways, enough talk. This is Firewood Media's video on Chris Stuckmann. Let's see how it goes.
There was a time when YouTube media criticism was basically just a competition to see who could scream the loudest. A bad credit card! It was the...
Oh god, fucking nostalgia critic. I miss like the old age of like media reviews. Remember like back in the day where like people just played a character and everyone like used to like defend like these people even if they have like bad takes because they played like a character. I don't see like this style outside like the OGs like surviving anymore because I feel like people like honesty way more. People just want to see more people be honest about who they are and not play like a character, which is kind of unfortunate because I do kind of miss this era. I did kind of miss it. People were a lot of people. It just felt like even though it's obviously like someone play a character. It kind of felt a little bit. It felt like there was a little bit of honesty towards it.
The era of the angry reviewer with lots of performative rage, a whole lot of cynicism, and skits that were longer than the actual review.
Yep, I watched a lot of angry video game nerd back in the day, and nostalgia critic. Not so much the other guys, but mostly those two. I remember those videos. Those were fun.
itself. You had your usual suspects like the angry video game nerd, the nostalgia critic,
R.I.P. Ninja Turtles.
Linkara,
R.I.P. Nostalgia Critic's ballsack.
Aren't my eyes comforting when they're up close like this?
and
No.
really all of Channel Awesome as a whole. As much as I still enjoy watching the remaining active creators from that website, the angry reviewer shtick got old very fast. There's this veil of irony that these reviewers use to shield any form of criticism directed towards them, since at the end of the day, they're just playing a character or an exaggerated version of themselves. Any bad take they had could just be whisked away as being a bit and not a serious opinion. Looking at
Yeah, unfortunately, this style of content, like, what it used to thrive during, like, the 2000s, well, the late 2000s and early 2010s, I don't think this content could fly now these days anymore. It definitely died out. Like, outside the OGs, like Angry Video Gamer or Nostalgia Critic, there's just no way, like, a new one. Like, if I decided to make, like, an angry review, like, I don't know, like, I call myself the angry lizard person, it just wouldn't, like, take off. I don't think people will enjoy it. I think, like, one of the reasons why I think YouTubers like Scott the Wise like succeed because they're not portraying themselves as an angry. I think witty is like more so like they're like more witty, and I feel like that's why like a lot of people really like Scott, because is still like kind of playing a character, but he's not like angry. He's not constantly like destroying stuff all the time, like destroying like a Ninja Turtles like VHS. He's just like someone who's just being witty and silly, and like I think that a lot of people really like that, and people want to see more of that than like the angry reviewer.
YouTube as a whole back then, simply reviewing a movie and giving your opinion as yourself was a fool's errand for channel growth back then. Why would I watch some everyday random dude talk about a movie when I could just watch some dude wearing a fedora with a prop gun fight his evil clone in a hotel room while reviewing said piece of media?
Shoot these guys!
But this is where our protagonist comes into play. Enter Chris Stuckmann.
It is some of the coolest special effects sequences I have seen in a while. The last 20 minutes of this movie are absolutely fantastic. I loved Chronicle. It's a great film. It may continue to be on my best of the year list for a while. I'm going to give it an A-.
Man, it's so unfortunate like how like Chris Stuckmann is kind of going downhill. Like I really liked Chris Stuckmann back when I was like a teenager. Like when I used to watch like all his videos back in the day. And after like he got like his movie promoted, he stopped like doing media criticisms and started canceling like a bunch of series like Hilariosity and whatnot. It's just so unfortunate, and he just got worried. He just lost his confidence and just started like reviewing like movies that he liked. And I don't know, like to me, like that kind of defeats like a reviewer or like a film critic. Like if you're not willing to criticize other people's works, like it just ruins like every like it I don't know, like you need to criticize. I feel like you just really need to criticize. I understand like he doesn't want to like offend anyone, especially like in the same sphere that he wants to get in. But like I don't know, to me it just defeats the point of like a film critic. Honestly, it's just so sad to see Chris Stuckmann like this.
Back then, Chris Stuckmann was the radical outlier because he was just a guy.
You know, like I go to see a movie and I'm like, this one's gonna be it. Never mind. I was like, Last Airbender. You can do it, Shyamalan. Nothing.
While everyone else was busy building elaborate lore around their OC while wearing Halloween costumes, Chris's early content was defined solely by a bedroom, a setup, much like this. And even when he tackled your standard punching bag movie, the kind of so bad it's good film that everyone at that time was making fun of, The Room, Birdemic, Son of the Mask, you know what I'm talking about. Chris still kept it grounded for the most part.
I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. I've seen every single episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I've seen every episode of Dragon Ball. I know everything about Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime. I've read the manga, I've watched the shows. I know everything about Dragon Ball, and I've come to realize that the creators of Dragon Ball Evolution, I don't even know if they even watched any of Dragon Ball.
In his 2011 review of Dragon Ball Evolution, he expressed genuine disappointment as opposed to the theatrical fury that was so common at the time.
I give Dragon Ball Evolution no stars. That's right, not even a half little star.
Damn, he gave Dragon Ball Evolution. Never seen Dragon Ball whatsoever. I also haven't seen the movie, so I can't really talk about it all that much. Damn, he's going all out. Chris Stuckmann, he's definitely going. He's gonna fucking annihilate it.
This film gets nothing. This film has nothing. I will give it nothing. I hate this.
He's gonna Stuckmanize the movie. You better watch out, Dragon Ball Evolution. You're gonna get Stuckmanized by Chris Stuckmann.
Movie. It took away 85 minutes of my life that seemed like the longest 85 minutes ever.
While playing into what works on the site, Chris would create a new series for his channel, which was dubbed Hilariosity. In a way, it was his slight concession to...
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of Hilariosity. I love this series so much. It sucks that he canceled it just because he didn't want to offend anyone. It's just sad. I really like Hilariosity. I think this was by far like some of his best work. Especially he used to collaborate with another YouTuber. I'm blanking on his name. I think it's called the Flip Pick or whatever. I don't know. I'll put it I probably will put his name on the video when I'm doing like the editing and whatnot. Yeah, he used to do a lot of videos with that guy. I heard that they stopped being friends with each other a long time ago. But at the same time, I don't know what I don't remember what the reason was. I think it's kind of like I think it was like one of those situations that once he started to have kids and started making his movie, he just stopped. Their friendship started to separate from one another, which is unfortunate. Because I did like those guys, and I think their content was fun. I like when they work together.
To the angry reviewer trend, but with a twist. In reviews like The Room or Birdemic, he leaned into the absurdity of the films, yet the humor came from his genuine reactions to the screen, where he was just sort of being himself.
The dialogue in that scene is so thought-provoking, and it says true things about humanity. It's freaking terrible. It's all terrible.
His 2011 top 10 best and worst movies of the year served as the standard for this channel. While the Channel Awesome crowd was focused primarily on nostalgia for the 80s and 90s, Chris Stuckmann focused mainly on recent movies that had just come out. He was talking about Drive, The Tree of Life, and Hannah, treating YouTube like a legitimate seat at the critics' table and mirroring the professionalism of Roger Ebert, as opposed to the chaos of a Saturday morning cartoon like the Nostalgia Critic. But at the same time, it still felt like you were just talking to your dorky friend who loves movies and won't shut up about the last thing he just saw. In videos like his Prometheus review from 2012, you can see the blueprint for the modern video essayist starting to form. There's no jump cut gags to hide a lack of insight. Instead, the video is voiceover only with some lo-fi ambient music playing in the background.
In Greek mythology, Prometheus was a titan who is known as the creator of mankind and also for the theft of fire for human use, which helped...
Hey, wait a minute. This is not Greek mythology. Chris, are you lying to me? Chris, you fucking liar. No, I'm kidding. I know he's talking about... Well, I actually don't know what he's talking about, but I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about, but whatever, I don't care.
...helped further the progression of humankind. Prometheus was then punished by Zeus and sentenced to eternal torment for his sin.
This video is wildly different from his usual output at the time, given that these were noticeably scripted and would go in-depth with his film analysis.
His sacrifice seems to then spring forth the building blocks of human life. To me, this creature embodies the myth of Prometheus, the mythological creator of mankind and the character in Greek mythology who helped further human civilization. But the question is, why?
Stuckmann would actually utilize this format a few times after this, usually with rant videos about movie theaters and horror movies.
For many audience members today, the term scary has a completely different definition. For some, it seems a film's scare level is measured by how many times a loud noise or sound effect made them jump in their seat.
If it wasn't abundantly clear, I used to watch Chris Stuckmann's videos a lot as a kid.
Same here, buddy. Same here.
And they're a massive reason as to why I even have a YouTube channel myself. Just look at my setup and look at his setup. It's kind of the same thing, right? But beyond the movie reviews, I also really love the random one-off videos where he would review his own movies from when he was a teenager.
Yeah, I remember like some of these videos where like he would just review like older movies that he used to do when he was a kid. I remember like this video was like almost 5 years ago now. Like he made like a video about his past when he was in Jehovah's Witnesser, and I don't know, looking back at like some of those older videos, like it's clearly from someone like who is trying their best not to like offend that group of people, which is like absurd. Like the fact I don't know, I don't know, like I'm not someone who hates like or who hates religion, but like some religious people are just so fucking like crazy. Like they will see like one drop of blood and they will think that you're you're basically like they will just try to like oust you and whatnot, and it's like it's just so like you guys need to fucking chill out. Like just chill out. Like it's just like a movie. Like stop incorporating religion. Like religion should not be your personality. It really shouldn't. Like go outside, take a shower, and talk to people.
Whether or not this was intentional, it showed that he wanted to be more than just a YouTube movie critic. A highlight from this was his Indiana Jones fan film video where he went over the production history behind his take on the legendary Steven Spielberg franchise. To me, as a kid who wanted to be a filmmaker, this was so inspirational, and it was one of the major foundations that led me to actually pursuing a career in film. Still, for anyone who watched Chris Stuckmann consistently, you would pick up on some occasionally strange moments. For starters, it seemed like he opened every review by saying, I grew up with this. I grew up with that.
I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. I've always loved Dragon Ball Z. I grew up loving this character. I love the comics. I grew up with this film. This was my...
It didn't really matter.
Yeah, that's stuff that I started to notice a lot. And also, like, Chris Stuckmann also has some, like, weird fucking, like... He has some weird... you can sometimes say some weird stuff. I remember his pitch for Batman v Superman, like his I'm gonna say his pitch, but like his rewrite for Batman v Superman. This part always gets memed to death. It's so funny, and so justified because it's so funny. It's like, well, how the hell do you thought this was good? What he said, like I remember, like he was rewriting BVS and go like, and he wanted like Batman, Superman. He wanted like Batman to tell Superman, tell that to Zod's snap neck, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you recorded that. That's actually fucking hilarious, and you actually played it so seriously. That's so funny.
No matter what intellectual property he was reviewing, he just so happened to have nostalgia for it and also just so happened to have grown up with it.
I grew up playing the Lara Croft games, and I myself grew up reading.
Guys, I grew up with King Kong.
Because that's how I grew up watching this film. Now, if you grew up in the 90s at all.
There was also the time when Rich Evans from Red Letter Media offhandedly called him a prick.
In this episode of Review, who are you gonna call? That's right, the Ghostbusters. Today we're talking about the Ghostbusters, the 1984 comedy film.
Rich.
What?
You're a YouTuber, but you're not an asshole YouTuber.
I got confused.
Yeah.
I saw a red curtain, I thought we were that one prick.
And Chris Stuckmann then posted a 6-minute...
Oh my god. Oh no. I vaguely remember this video. The only things I remember that I think he started like crying, like after finding out that Red Letter Media made a joke about him. Like, bro, like what? That you're gonna cry because of that? Like, I understand you like them, but like, come on, dude, like, don't cry.
Long response video where he looked visibly upset over what many perceived to be an offhanded, harmless joke.
For me, there was just a moment where I was like, oh. Okay. I mean, if that's how they feel about me, then...
Oh, by the way, guys, I forgot to mention, if you hear me sniffling, it's not because I'm crying. It's because I'm my nose is like running right now, unfortunately. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's the season, unfortunately. We're starting up spring. usually starts around there. Anyways, back to the video.
Okay, that's fine.
Another funny moment came around the release of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, a terrible movie that
Yeah, I remember this. Oh no. Oh no.
I just can't seem to avoid talking about in my videos. Regardless, he made a tweet that was a rewrite of a scene in the movie where he tried to show how he would have handled the tension between Batman and Superman. The script was intended to be a grittier, better version of the confrontation, but it backfired immediately because the dialogue felt like hyper-edgy fan fiction. Which is funny, considering that whole movie is just hyper-edgy fan fiction.
Yeah. Batman v Superman, basically the whole Snyderverse was just like an edgy teen take on like these characters, like Batman like brutally murdering people, Superman causing like 9/11 times a million. Like, it's actually fucking crazy. Like, I'm so glad that we're getting like better DC movies now these days. The DCEU was such a mess, even like back when Snyder was running it. Like, I do agree, like, it's during the Snyder run, like, it was better, and that's only because it felt like a cinematic universe. But like, and everything else just felt like course correcting, but like at the same time, like the first attempt that you're gonna make a DC cinematic universe, you make a weird Elseworld take on like these characters where like they're just not like the characters from the comics, and it's like, man, Snyder, you basically missed the point of like these characters. You missed why like people wanted to see this, and it's like, unfortunately.
The climax of his rewrite.
And yes, I know Snyder fans are gonna be in the description down below and get upset at me and go like, "Oh my God, LizardBrains, you're making fun of my favorite movies." No, it's like I'm like, okay, that's okay, whatever. I don't really care anymore.
It featured Batman shouting, "Tell that to Zod."
Then again, I'm a nobody, so they probably wouldn't care or whatever.
Snap neck. The internet found right featured Batman shouting, "Tell that to Zod, snap neck." The internet.
Yeah, I remember this. I know some people were mocking him for a long time. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Found the line unintentionally hilarious for a few reasons. First, the logic is bizarre because you can't really tell an argument to a dead man's broken vertebrae. Second, because Stuckmann was a critic who positioned himself as an expert on story structure, his attempt to improve professional writing with something widely considered to be objectively worse became an instant meme. Speaking of, another moment that...
Yeah, there's a little irony towards it. Like, you're a movie critic. You're supposed to tell people like what's your thoughts on the film and how you can improve it, and then you made something that was equally as cringe, or actually maybe even more cringe than the lines in the movie, like the Martha sound. Somehow you made something more cringe than the Martha line, than the Martha scene. How the hell you made something more cringier than the Martha scene? You basically you made it more worse somehow. How?
That got memed on pretty hard was during his review of Jordan Peele's Get Out, where he said this.
See, I grew up in a very mixed...
Oh no. Oh my God, I remember this. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I remember there's people also made about this. The only white guy in an all black photo. Oh my God, Chris. All my black friends. I'm not racist. This is I have a black friend or black friends. Oh my God, Chris. Chris is an interesting person. He's such an interesting person.
Mixed race environment. I had tons of friends of color, so I never really saw this myself personally. I grew up in a very all-inclusive family that believed that everyone is people. We're all human, and like it doesn't matter. And
Actually, I probably should not laugh at that, because after him coming out as a Jehovah's Witnesser, and a lot of those people in his I think in that photo like were part of the Jehovah's Witness group. Yeah, that's kind of sad. I probably shouldn't make fun of it now rethinking of it. I don't know. Maybe this video might talk about it some more. I mean, this is, after all, a Chris Stuckmann video.
still feel that way, and I'm really, really grateful for that upbringing because I've since learned as an adult that that's rare. So seeing a film like this can sometimes get under my skin because I
Wow, Chris, how woke of you.
genuinely don't understand racism, and that's just because
By the way, that was sarcasm. I don't actually believe in that stuff. I don't really care. I just wanted to make a joke.
I never was really exposed to it on a full scale. So when I see it in movies like this, I have a hard time connecting with it.
Well, in 2021, the reason for this odd behavior quickly made sense when
Yes. I'm actually glad that he's going to talk about this. I mean, it's kind of expected. It's a Chris Stuckmann video after all.
Chris Stuckmann published a video titled How I Left the Jehovah's Witnesses to Pursue Filmmaking. Here, he laid out the reality of living inside a high-control group where the elders kept a boot on his throat. He talked about the threat of disfellowshipping, where you are essentially shunned from your family and friends. It effectively deletes a person from the lives of the people that they love. As a constant...
That's fucking crazy. I can't believe... I don't fully will never... I probably would never forget... I never understand like these types of people like these people are the more how can you like criticize like different groups of people like gay and trans people, but you ironically wish oust family members because they might have different beliefs from you? That's crazy. That's actually freaking insane to me. I never will understand these groups of people. These people are like actually like ironically, like, gay and trans people are expressing God's word, but in, like, a different way than what you do. If anything, you guys are more so the evil of our world, and more so, technically. But, like, you guys are just so up your ass about, like, fucking religion. Like, maybe, like, just chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out. Like, to go touch grass. Stop reading your Bible books, for Christ's sakes.
Looming shadow over him. Hearing him articulate...
By the way, this is not me trying to insult like any like religious people. Like all the chill ones are okay. I like the chill ones. Those are fine. I talked to chill ones in the past. They're good. Some religious people, like the chill ones are okay. It's really the fucking hyper religious people I cannot fucking stand. They're just so fucking cringe and annoying.
How the organization turned his own household into a site of surveillance made the abstract concept of religious dogma feel incredibly claustrophobic and real, while also making it abundantly clear why he acted so odd in those prior moments. It provided the missing context for his previous public demeanor, explaining why he often seemed so rigid and disconnected. Having been raised in a bubble, he lacked the baseline cultural fluency that most people take for granted. Getting called a prick by red letter media felt less like basic ribbing and more like a direct hostile assault on who he is as a person, while his bumbling and alienating commentary on Get Out, where he claimed not to understand the mechanics of racism, was the byproduct of an upbringing that intentionally kept him insulated from the harsh realities of the outside world.
Man, I actually forgot about some of that stuff. I mean, I haven't seen that video in like years because I think it's like, I remember that came out like 5-6 years ago. Man, maybe I kind of feel bad for making fun of him a little bit, but I don't know. Man, that kind of sucks. Yeah, it kind of explains a lot why he kind of like some of the hilarious stuff about it. Maybe it's because like a very not so great upbringing that he had it, unfortunately, with like these hyper like religious people and whatnot.
I started talking about movies on the internet. They were very innocent reviews, no language, no cursing. I was still living with my parents at the time. And eventually, the elders became aware that I was talking about movies on the internet. And they had a meeting with me, and in so many words, they suggested that they didn't like that.
The entire video itself is so fascinating. Like, I recommend you go check it out for yourself. But what stuck out to me the most was the conflict that he presented that was centered on his ambition to make movies, which the church hierarchy treated as a moral threat to his spiritual standing. He described living a double life for years, where he would go out and watch movies that he wasn't supposed to be watching, and then bury his genuine interests under a layer of required conformity to avoid triggering the leadership.
I had seen Thor that day, and the elders found out that I had seen Thor.
That's crazy. That's crazy. No way. No way they got upset over the fact that you saw Thor of all movies. Thor. Like Thor 1? That's crazy. That's actually insane. And like just because it's based loosely, well, I mean, Thor 1's technically loosely based off of Norse mythology, so I guess I could somewhat understand. I don't know, it's just so weird. Like, these people are so weird. Like, I don't understand why these people can sit here point blankly criticize like other groups of people and how they live life. Meanwhile, they get upset at other people for watching a movie. They get so butthurt over that. That's fucking crazy. That's actually insane. And I'm glad that Chris Stuckmann made this video. This is actually... Some of these people just need to chill the fuck out.
And made a big fuss about it. Because Thor is a pagan god.
He would also, in that same...
Oh, wait, what? God pegged Thor? Jesus fucking Christ. You guys are weird. What the fuck? He pegged Thor? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly.
Video come out as pansexual, and he stripped away the insulation that he had maintained for years.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing that also happened. That's good for him. Good for him. I hope the best for him.
He made it very clear that this previous existence was defined by a series of forced compromises that stifled his development as a creator and as a person. It was by far the most genuine video that he had ever made up until that point. It would mark a turning point for the channel, as around this time, he announced that he was moving forward. He was officially transitioning from a critic to a filmmaker, beginning work on his debut feature, Shelby Oaks. Essentially, Chris Stuckmann announced that...
Ooh, nice, Shelby Oaks. I haven't seen Shelby Oaks yet, so maybe I might have to go watch it. I just didn't have the time to go watch it, but I hope that I somewhat heard some takes about it. I heard it's not like all that great. I hope that he can take whatever like experience that he learned from the film, take some of the criticism and just like improve upon it, because it is a different art form. It's different than reviewing a film and giving out your take. Like, a lot of people think that just because you're a great movie review means that you can make great movies. That's not always the case. It's like two different skills. I think a lot of like movie reviewers, or excuse me, a lot of people like in the internet space just they always conflate two. It's like they're like equally the same. It does, just because you're a movie reviewer doesn't mean you're good at making movies. I hope Chris Stuckmann can take some of the criticism that he got from Shelby Oaks and learn from it, and make, better made projects going forward. I heard like it did decently fine. Like, some people make it out like it's a flop. It wasn't like a flop. Like, I saw the box office. It was like $1 million budget with like a $6 million like box office. Like, that seems pretty good. Like, I know that it doesn't. I know like it wasn't like a big like performing film, but like it did decently fine.
He would no longer be reviewing bad movies. His reasoning for this was that he, as a filmmaker, didn't want to talk negatively towards a movie and then burn that bridge in the film industry. Chris also argued that...
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that was like the start of his downfall, where like he just stopped reviewing movies that he didn't like. I understand like lowering it down, but like stop. I don't know. That seems like so bizarre. I feel like you should just keep reviewing movies that you don't like, because it just defeats the point of a critic. Like, how can I trust you as like a film critic if you can't even give me like the bad stuff? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, like, it just defeats the point of it. Like, how can I trust you as a film reviewer? I don't know. It's puzzling to me.
That because he now understood the blood, sweat, and tears that went into film production, he no longer felt comfortable being negative towards these movies. It sounds noble on paper, but in practice, it was the death of his credibility. Sure, he had some solid videos during this run, like his Madam Web review, where instead of trashing it like everyone else did, he expressed sympathy for the filmmakers involved and talked about how Sony, the studio...
I remember this controversy a little bit. I remember people got very upset over Twitter. I don't know, it's like... I don't know, I didn't really care all that much. Like, I understand Madam Web is a bad movie. I never watched it, of course, because don't know. I did not care for it whatsoever. The memes were good. The memes were funny. Memes were funny. I don't know. Like, I understand like why Chris Tucker would be sympathetic. I don't know. I didn't think it was like the right time to really be that. I don't know. It should have been like a topic for like a video, not really like a review from Madam Web. I don't know. I think Chris Tucker looked a little silly, but at the same time, like I understand like what he's saying, what he's trying to communicate and whatnot.
Studio behind that dumpster fire of a movie had a very bad habit of meddling with the creative vision of their directors.
Yeah, Sony has a history of just like just fucking up like movies whatsoever, especially like Spider-Man movies. They did it with Spider-Man 3, which they wanted to incorporate Venom. Sam Raimi didn't want to incorporate Venom, but Sony very insisted. TASM 2 is a whole other controversy. Technically, the TASM franchise has its own controversy within itself, and also the Sony spin-off movies. But they are doing some good jobs with like the MCU Spider-Man movies. Like I like those. I also like the Spider-Verse movies. So they got good stuff going for it. But like they keep like I don't know. They should just stop like meddling. I hope they just stop. But this seems like at least Spider-Man as a franchise is in a good spot right now, especially with movies like Brand New Day coming out and Beyond the Spider-Verse next year.
I do not know how hard it is to make a movie under the studio system. I was able to make an indie film without a giant corporation breathing down my neck, which is not the privilege that S.J. Clarkson had when she directed Madam Web under Sony, which I can only imagine was monumentally difficult.
Yes, it is cape shit. Say what you want. I can't stand that movie, and frankly, I forget it even exists. However, it's still an interesting and unique take, especially from someone who at the time was working in the industry. That was the rare exception, as the vast majority of his uploads just felt completely pointless. These videos don't benefit anybody, because the film critic is scared to critique the thing he's supposed to be critiquing.
Yeah. Oh, this is a great freeze frame right here. Yeah, it's just like it defeats the point of like a film critic. Like, how can I trust Chris Stuckmann as a film reviewer, but he's so scared of like criticizing films? I don't know. Like I know he calls it like film appreciation videos. I don't know. Like to me, like it just confused. And then the views like show it. Like I'm not saying that he should post more critique videos. If that's what he's not in. If he wants to make more film appreciation videos, whatnot, go ahead. But like, give some kind of criticism. Like, do something. Stop like, don't like. Why why are you so scared for some reason? It's just so. It's just puzzling. I don't know. Like he should just. I don't know. It's weird.
Movie critics aren't there to be friends with the director, but to actually assess the finished product. So, by announcing he would only talk about things he liked, or worse, refused to say anything bad about things he didn't, he ceased to become a critic and became nothing more than a PR agent for these movies. Whether or not you agree or disagree with his methods, Chris Stuckmann was still able to make a full-length feature film. After years of teasing it and posting a ton of really neat behind-the-scenes vlogs on his channel, the movie was picked up by Neon as its distributor. From there, the studio gave the film more funding, and Stuckmann was able to tweak and refine multiple elements to the project. Upon its release, the consensus among both general audience...
Oh man, I thought it was much better. I thought it was actually much better. I remember like audience score was like at least like 70%. I guess it went down, or maybe I'm just misremembering or whatnot. It has, well, at least it has like above 50% ratio for both critics and audience. So I guess it's better. I don't know. It's not too bad, but I think he should just learn his mistakes and whatnot from this movie. Like any mistakes that he had for this movie, like learn them and make them better with the next movie, whether it being like a sequel or like a brand new like original film.
And critics was mixed to poor, to say the least. It sort of seemed like the praise surrounding this had more to do with the film's director being a YouTuber, as opposed to actually just praising the material itself.
The movie just comes across as slow to me rather than slow burn. But you might be able to look past those flaws if you're drunk. Yeah, now I'm Stuckmanized.
Even then,
Jeremy Jahns. Yeah, I prefer Jeremy Jahns as a film critic over like Chris Stuckmann. I don't know. I feel like Jeremy Jahns is more real, and more authentic than Chris Stuckmann. I don't know. At this point, I kind of feel Chris Stuckmann as kind of like the film reviewer of Mr. Beast. Like, I kind of view those two as, like, very similar to one another. To me, like, they're kind of just not, like, a person anymore. Now they're just kind of, like, they're just a product now at this point. And, I don't know. To me, like, I think I prefer more, like, authentic people. And I think the majority of people prefer more authentic people. But I don't hate, like, Chris Stuckmann or Mr. Beast. Sometimes they will do something very silly and goofy, but, like, anyways, it is what it is.
And a lot of the gripes people had with the movie had to do with people's dislike of Chris Stuckmann and how a film critic should be better at making movies since they critique movies. They should know what's good and what's bad. There was also a ton of discourse surrounding the financials and the box office, but with independent movies like this, I think that stuff is largely irrelevant. In my opinion, Shelby Oaks,
yeah, I don't really care much. It seemed like it did, like, decently well.
Is a mediocre independent horror film from a first-time filmmaker. I was impressed by the cinematography and the atmosphere, but I'll probably forget this movie even existed about a year from now.
Yeah, I was kind of, like, impressed. Well, what I've seen from the trailers, like, it seemed, like, decently shot. It seems, like, very professionally. It was, like, a decent, like, director's debut. But I don't know. I personally, for me, I hope that he learns from his mistakes from this film and just, like, improve upon it with his next movie.
Now, the writing is really bad. It has all the hallmarks of an overambitious director throwing everything they love into a blender and then releasing that as an unrefined finished product where it doesn't really have a clear identity. If this was released onto Tubi or Shudder, I probably wouldn't have much of an issue with it, but this just doesn't feel like a theatrical major motion picture. If it was marketed as more of an independent film as opposed to a huge tentpole release from Neon, it might have fared better critically and in the eyes of the general public. Still, to quote the guy that directed Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice,
the truth is, it doesn't matter. The movie got made. Oof. Thank you, Zack Snyder. Thank you, Zacharias Snyder.
The truth is, it doesn't matter. The movie got made. As an independent filmmaker myself, I'll always celebrate someone getting their dream project made. I might not have enjoyed it, but it's clear that this movie has its fans, which is pretty cool, and I'm glad that they can enjoy something that I don't.
This film was directed by John Smith.
Oh my god, this fucking animation. Unfortunately, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. I'm a filmmaker. Jesus.
And John made Googly Eyes from 2015, and that was a very good film. And this film, I really like the cinematography.
But nowadays, in 2026, Chris Stuckmann is back to posting full-time on YouTube. There's currently nothing in development for his next big feature film project as of the making of this video, but the movie reviews? They are consistently a grueling 5 minutes long, and I say grueling because even at that length, they feel like a slog. Watch a recent review and take note of just how
I haven't seen a Chris Stuckmann video in a while. Are they like that? I hope. I probably might check them out like offline, but anyways, carry on.
Formulaic and unenthusiastic they all are. The first 2 minutes are a low-energy sponsor read.
Oh, I remember this controversy.
And unenthusiastic they all are.
I remember this where he, in the middle of his Wicked 2 video, he literally like posted a freaking like ad of a gambling app. What the fuck were you thinking, Chris Stuckmann? This is why I say that I view him like the similar as Mr. Beast now, because like I don't think they're inherently bad people, but like they will do stuff that is so stupid. Like I remember like Mr. Beast, like he literally I think he was making a theme park in Saudi Arabia. I can't say the name unfortunately. In Russia basically. And it's like you do realize they kill like political opponents over there. Like why the fuck are you making a theme park over there? I don't know, like to me it feels like you're trying to be buddy up with with actual fucking disgusting people. And I understand it's business overall, but like why? not to say like what Chris Stuckmann did right here is as bad as was Mr. Beast, but like I'm saying like I don't know, I kind of view them as like the same to me. Like they're just becoming less like people and more like a product, basically a product or like an AI or some sort.
2 minutes are a low energy sponsor read, followed by 2 minutes of a basic plot overview that you could find on IMDb, and then 1 minute of non-committal interjections like the acting was good, the cinematography was there, or the classic, I grew up with this. There's no why. There's no how. Why do you feel this way, Chris? How does that make you feel? Use teal. Like, I'm sorry. Teal is taught to like grade schoolers, man. You were doing this in your old reviews. Why can't you do it now? What happened, man? Who lobotomized you?
What happened, Chris? No, Chris, what happened? He got Stuckmanized. No, he got Stuckmanized. He didn't get like he didn't get lobotomized. He got Stuckmanized.
I had a wonderful time with this movie. I liked it more than Kinds of Kindness. I don't know if I liked it more than Poor Things, but I really, really enjoyed this film. I thought it was so unique and, as usual, very bizarre.
Okay. It's just surface level observations that are
No, what did you do to my boy? Not my boy. No, Chris, no.
clinical and designed not to offend a single person in the industry that he's trying to join. Honestly, these videos feel more offensive than any negative review that he could ever release. If someone reviewed one of my movies in a way that was just this soulless, I'd assume they were being polite to my face while checking their watch the entire time. It's so disingenuous. A review like that has no pulse. There's no sense of curiosity or point of view that anyone could actually grab onto and wrestle with. Film criticism lives or dies on interpretation, on the critic taking the material seriously enough to form an opinion and then doing the work to defend it. Chris Stuckmann used to understand that on some level, even when he was broad or messy or leaning into YouTube critic habits of that era. There was still a sense that a human being was there. A human being had watched the movie and reacted to it and wanted to communicate something beyond just being a consumer and then recommending said product to more consumers. Current day Chris Stuckmann talks about movies the way that a customer service chatbot would talk about a couch. Everything is flattened into this inoffensive product description language where every performance is solid, every script has some issues, and every directorial choice is reduced to vague approval noises. Part of what
Damn, that sucks. Yeah. Damn. This is unfortunate. I like Chris Stuckmann. I hope I think he's going like a little bit of a route right now. I hope he improves in the future, but man, it's unfortunate. Just unfortunate.
Makes this so irritating is how transparent the motivation feels. Nobody accidentally drains this much personality out of their work. Nobody just wakes up one day and forgets how to articulate a thought. A shift this obvious comes from self-censorship, and self-censorship always leaves fingerprints. You have to remember that his old videos weren't all that toxic or outright negative towards the media he was criticizing. Remember, whether intentional or not, he acted as the antithesis to the angry reviewer of the time. He was rather level-headed. Now, perhaps the most
True, yeah. I don't think like Chris Stuckmann was as like aggressive in his film reviews like at all. Like he was more like chill and relaxed. He was definitely like different from like all the other critics at the time, like Angry Video Game Nerd, Nostalgia Critic, and whatnot. I think Angry Joe was around that. I'm not sure. I actually don't remember. No, I think Angry Joe was around that time. Anyways, back to my point. Like the point is like he was much different compared to everyone. So seeing he's just becoming like a husk of himself, like it sucks to see like YouTubers that I grew up watching and loving at the time just become like very just they don't look like they're enjoying themselves making videos anymore, which is like, man, I just really hope that he gets out of this route right now. Right now he's kind of going for like a low point in his career. I just hope that one day he can find some way that he can revitalize it in a meaningful capacity. And just keep making videos until eventually like something works.
Most depressing part of this decline is the overbearing sponsorships and ad reads in his recent uploads. Look, I'm probably going to burn some bridges here, as YouTubers tend to avoid talking negatively about any and all potential sponsors, but I really couldn't care less. I personally don't do sponsorships for my videos and haven't done so in years. Sponsored segments ruin a video's pacing 99.9% of the time.
I don't really care if YouTubers get sponsors. Sure, it is a little bit annoying, but like I get it. I understand it. They have to make their money in some way, especially if a video gets demonetized. Like how, like I get it. Like I understand it. I used to be one of those people who will get very upset when YouTubers get sponsors. At this point, like I kind of accept it. Like, yeah, this is like they want to like live. They need to live. They need to get paid somehow. And if a video gets demonetized, at least like a sponsorship, they get paid through like a sponsorship, so that's good.
And I think I speak for everyone when I say nobody watches these segments. YouTube literally added a feature where you can just double tap the screen and skip ad reads entirely. Even then, as a content creator and a human with a 9-to-5 day job, I really don't want my name and face associated with a company that could potentially commit morally dubious acts just for like $1,000. Like, I mean, who would do such a thing, right? In Chris Stuckmann's review,
yeah, the only big problem like with sponsorships, it's really like the weird ones like gambling. Like I don't mind like the normal ones like VPNs and whatnot, but like why gambling sponsorships? Why like actually like very just like why those ones in particular? It just seems so bizarre. It feels like you're just greedy for money. Chris, like you're a millionaire. Why do you want to have like these like very strange sponsorships that you know for a fact that you will get called out for using them? It just seems so bizarre. Like I can like understand like maybe like a smaller content creator who's like starting to get their foot out there, but like you're like a millionaire. You've been doing this for like a decade. How the fuck are you should know this by now, not to take these type of sponsors.
For Wicked for Good, a film with a massive child audience, Chris promoted a licensed gambling mobile app.
But I also want to give a big thank you to the sponsor for this video, Zynga. You know that moment in Wicked when everything's glowing green? That's kind of how this new Hit It Rich update feels. It's theatrical, it's fun, and it's surprisingly immersive. Hit It Rich is Zynga's free-to-download social casino app. No real money, no gambling, just over 200 authentic Vegas-style slot machines, including originals and licensed favorites like The Price is Right, Wizard of Oz, and of course, Wicked. The newest slot, Wicked, Grand, and Green, lets you experience the magical friendship and rivalry between Elphaba and Galinda as you spin through Oz, and it joins the fan-favorite Wicked Defy Gravity machine already in Hit It Rich.
Hearing Chris Stuckmann, a man who once spoke with such reverence for the art of cinema.
Damn. Why? Like I knew this controversy like for a while. I knew that he did this stuff, but like I don't understand. Like I don't get it personally. Like again, like I don't know. It's like you should know this by now. You should know that you're gonna get called out for this. And like I don't know why you want to take something like that, because it literally is promoting the gambling. You're literally promoting gambling, man.
Use his monotone professional voice to call a slot machine cinematic is a new low.
True. Oh, Chris, it's hard to defend you. It's really hard to. It's hard.
Whether you're on Grand and Green or Defy Gravity, the visuals feel cinematic. And you really do feel like a high roller while spinning across all those machines. You can hit big wins and huge jackpots daily, and even compete in fast-paced spinning races.
God, this breaks my heart just looking at this image right now. Like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, come on, man. Come on.
For epic rewards.
It's a conflict of interest that borders on feeling like a parody, where he literally claims to be reviewing a movie in good faith, while being paid to promote a product from the exact same people who made the movie that he's reviewing. At that point, I think it's very reasonable to say that he is incapable of honestly reviewing a movie, especially...
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. It's sad to see. It's actually like crazy that it's just fucking crazy. So disappointing.
Especially if one, he isn't allowing himself to be remotely negative, and two, if the people behind the movie are paying him to make the review. He's spent years of building a brand of authenticity, only to trade it in for the highest bidding gotcha game.
Begin your wicked slot journey today.
No, Chris, no. At this point, go back to like rewriting like movies like BVS. I'd rather that was more authentic than anything that you just promoted.
No, I don't think I will.
Thank you, Joe Biden. We really need you.
Even his own fans have pointed out the irony. While he's too kind to criticize a bad movie, he's perfectly fine shilling products that many consider to be predatory to the audience that gave him his career. Again, I could go on and on about the pitfalls of gambling and how nowadays advertisements for it are inescapable. If it was totally safe and totally risk-free, then why do all these ads require a gambling addiction hotline number to be shown on screen? If that wasn't bad enough, he recently released a sponsored video for Clover, a cash advance app that advertises access to money before payday.
Wait, what the fuck? I didn't know about this. What?
And says it offers no advances with no interest or late fees. Clover's own site says users can access up to a few $100s before their paycheck arrives. And it also promotes a point system where users can earn points through activities like surveys and watching ads in order to unlock benefits tied to the app. I'm not advertising this, I promise. I just want to make sure I get all my facts straight. The company further states that it leverages user data, and in its points program disclosures, certain categories of personal and transaction-related information may be shared with advertising and business partners, but don't worry about that. Clover also says that standard transfers are free, while faster delivery may involve an added fee. Let's be real here. If you're someone that's using a paycheck advance system during a financial emergency, you're going to pay that expedited fee because you need that money right now. Otherwise, why are you using that service in the first place? An expedited fee like that can make the product meaningfully more expensive in practice, especially on a small advance over a short period of time. Critics of these services often argue that
That's crazy. I did not know about any of this. What the God. Oh my God. God damn it, Chris.
That even when they are structured to avoid traditional interest, the real-world effect can still resemble an extremely expensive short-term loan when fees are weighed against the amount borrowed.
He says there's no interest, but like the interest is in the fee that you pay.
Of course. Exactly. Well, and he's...
EFAP. Oh my God. I'm not a big fan of these guys, but they are right in the scenario. They are right.
I'm pretty sure he just specifically said no interest from up to 400 or whatever. This is like, wait, does that mean...
For example, if you borrow $100 from your next check and pay a $10 fee, your next check is now $110 shorter than it should have been, making it much more likely you will need to borrow again immediately. A $10 fee on a $100 advance for 1 week essentially functions like a 520% APR, or annual percentage rate. That is a fair basis for criticism, even if the service is operating within the law. To be clear, I am not accusing anyone of criminal conduct or fraud on the part of either Chris Stuckmann or Clover. I'm not. Don't sue me, please. Fuck.
How is this happening? How is this possible?
Also, this is the SpongeBob movie. It's like, Mom, can we get the Lone Shark app?
The issue I have with
Jesus Christ. God damn it, Chris. Oh man, it's hard to defend this. It's so hard to defend this, especially as a former fan.
With this is the ethical judgment of it all. This is morally dubious, at the least, and extremely reckless for Chris Stuckmann to take this sponsorship, because, let's be honest, this is really only targeting the most desperate and vulnerable members of society.
Yeah, it's just so puzzling, especially, like, this guy's a millionaire. Like, you're a millionaire, Chris. At least I think he's a millionaire. I mean, he's been doing YouTube for a decade. He got millions and millions of views. He made probably, like, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Millions, probably. This seems so greedy. Like, why do you need, like, to basically, like, why you need to do stuff like this? It's just so bizarre. I don't know. It's just weird and gross.
Speaking of vulnerable members of society, let's talk about BetterHelp. Because,
Oh God, BetterHelp. Jesus.
Chris Stuckmann took their sponsorship too.
But I also want to give a big thank you to the sponsor for this video, BetterHelp. Myself and a lot of other guys my age were raised by fathers that made it...
Like, I don't really care much if, like, people take sponsorships. Like, I get it. Like, they had to make money more. But, like, Chris, like, why are you taking, like, these sponsorships? Like, these are fucking, like, shady as all hell. Like people, like, stuff like BetterHelp and that other one. And also, like, the gambling app one. Like, why? Why? Like, pick the safe ones, like VPNs. Like, those are much better than what the hell this is.
It seemed like talking openly about your problems, your concerns, or your worries was a sign of weakness, and that was something to avoid. And since a lot of us did go through that, it can be hard to break that mold. But I'm really happy to see that myself with my kids, as well as a lot of other people my age who do have kids, are trying to instill early in their kids that it's okay to be emotionally open, and it's why something like therapy shouldn't be considered taboo or strange to talk about.
BetterHelp takes something deeply personal and serious, like therapy, and packages it like a tech product and tries to scale it as fast as possible. If you're out of the loop, BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that matches users with licensed therapists and offers counseling through video, phone, live chat, and messaging. It also includes app-based features like journaling, worksheets, and progress tracking. This sounds great on paper, but their reputation has been tainted by a multitude of very public controversies. A huge part of the backlash surrounding the company came from the FTC case in 2023. BetterHelp had built a lot of its image around privacy and trust, which obviously matters when people are signing up to talk about their depression, their anxiety, their trauma. And then the FTC said that the company had shared user information, including email addresses, IP addresses, and answers from mental health intake forms with advertising platforms like Facebook, Snapchat, and Pinterest.
Jesus, that's actually crazy. Why, Chris? It's just so puzzling to me, like, seeing someone like that promote stuff like that. Like you don't need the money. You're a millionaire. Just stick with the safe ones that are not sketchy as all hell. And I don't remember like a whole lot of that BetterHelp situation. I remember watching the PewDiePie video like years ago, but I remember like them not being like totally like not they're kind of a shady company, whatnot. Like, I don't understand. Like, pick the safe ones. I hope like one day I get sponsorships, and if I get them, I probably would just choose safe ones like the VPNs and whatnot.
I'm not joking. They did that. That's a thing that happened. BetterHelp also gets criticized all the time for running therapy like a churn machine, where clinicians are paid less than they would be in a traditional setting, and pushed into carrying huge caseloads just to make the numbers work. Once that happens, the quality problem feels inevitable, because one therapist can only do so much. Customers of BetterHelp frequently complain about therapists taking forever to respond, missing sessions, or giving advice that feels generic and half-present. Even without accusing every therapist on the platform of being bad at their job.
Damn. That's actually crazy. That's crazy. Like, you're supposed to be like a therapist. These people are trusting you, and you can't even make it to your session. That's, oh my God. Like, BetterHelp is such a fucking, like, don't use BetterHelp. Don't choose BetterHelp or any of like the sponsors Chris Stuckmann uses. Well, at least the ones showing this video.
The structure itself sounds like something that's built for volume first and care second. It's the definition of quantity over quality. Therapy already requires trust, patience, and actual attention. A system that pushes burnout into the...
By the way, don't sue me. All right, I'm just a small YouTuber. All right, don't sue me. I'm just providing some criticism and whatnot, and just recommending people. Okay, don't sue me.
Process is going to produce bad experiences. When you remember that this is a service meant for people who are struggling.
I'm talking about BetterHelp and the other stuff that sites that Chris Stuckmann showed and whatnot.
Going with their mental health, it's just really upsetting. Honestly, it's another example of a.
Yep, it's kind of upsetting. It's really upsetting.
A company exploiting the most vulnerable members of society for a profit. all while prolific influencers like Chris Stuckmann accept sponsorships from them without considering the potential impact this could have on their audience. However, the weirdest sponsorship that Chris Stuckmann has taken is one that has spawned numerous conspiracy theories surrounding his directorial debut, Shelby Oaks. There is a version of this story where everything is perfectly normal. A first-time director makes a small indie horror film, a respected distributor picks it up, throws in finishing funds, helps clean up the technical side, and handles the release. That happens all the time. Independent film lives on arrangements like that. But the part that starts feeling weird comes after the deal is in place. Give me 1 second. Once Shelby Oaks became part of Neon's world...
What is with the tinfoil hat? Why are you putting on tinfoil? Why are you putting on the tinfoil? Oh, it's because this is a conspiracy theory. Okay.
Neon started showing up inside Chris Stuckmann's YouTube reviews in a way that muddles the line between what is a movie review and a sponsored segment separate from the review. If you watch a few of his uploads from this time period, the pattern becomes very obvious. Chris opens by introducing the movie he is supposedly there to review. Then, about a minute later, he suddenly pivots to a completely different title that happens to be distributed by Neon. That has nothing to do with the video that you just clicked on.
But I'm also really excited for a new film coming out on November 14th, directed by Osgood Perkins, Keeper. James Wan says the film is a terrifying, ghostly descent into madness. Guillermo del Toro says Keeper is pure Perkins, horror origami that skillfully folds into itself. And Damien Leone says Perkins further establishes himself as a formidable voice in horror.
The structure has the rhythm of a sponsor read, except one crucial thing never gets said. Chris never gives the line every creator is supposed to give when money or business relationships enter the conversation. You're usually supposed to say, "This video is sponsored by..." If I had an ad read for that, like if I did it right after that, that'd be a great bit. But no, fuck sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a great opportunity. Yeah.
Sponsorships. He doesn't say this video.
I don't really care if people use sponsorships. I don't really care. I would just skip the segment. That's it. That's all I would do. Yeah, sure, it's a little bit annoying, but I understand why some people just need to... Some people need to make money, unfortunately. And obviously, like, if you want to take YouTube seriously, you have to take stuff like that. Just don't take the sketchy ones. Take, like, the safe ones.
Video sponsored by. In terms of federal law, you fucking need to say that. You need to disclose whether or not this is an ad. That is...
Really? Really? So... this is a ad? What? I gotta rewind that. What?
Says Perkins further establishes himself as a formidable voice in horror.
The structure has the rhythm of a sponsor read, except one crucial thing never gets said. Chris never gives the line every creator is supposed to give when money or business relationships enter the conversation. You're usually supposed to say, "This video is sponsored by..." If I had an ad read for that, like if I did it right after that, that'd be a great bit. But no, fuck sponsorships. He doesn't say this video is sponsored by. In terms of federal law, you fucking need to say that.
That's crazy. Wait, that was a sponsor video? What the fuck? What the fuck? What? It sounded like a regular summary of the movie. But that's a sponsor? That's actually fucking crazy. You have to disclose something like that. What?
You need to disclose whether or not this is an ad. That is the law. Influencer marketing depends on clear labeling, so viewers understand when a recommendation is tied to a financial relationship. It's the law. You literally have to disclose if something is an ad, Chris. Without that context, Chris, the endorsement plays like a normal opinion from a film critic. Chris. Remember, Chris, this is coming from somebody who has built their career as a film critic, Chris. So if you say that you're recommending a movie, Chris, as a subtle ad read, it carries authority, Chris. So when this comes from someone who's...
That's crazy. What the fuck? Dude, Chris. Oh my god. I don't think Chris Stuckmann is an evil person, but like he's definitely... He's not being the allegations, at least for me, that I just view him the same way as Mr. Beast. he's not being the allegations. Again, I think Mr. Beast has done worse stuff, like the Sabi Reyes stuff and the theme park ride over there, but like he's not being, I don't know, he's just like the film reviewer. He's, to me, like he's not as bad, but like he's still in that same realm of like very shady people, unfortunately, that would just do anything for money, which is weird because this guy's a millionaire, or at least supposed to be a millionaire. Like, he's been online for like a decade, and he should know this by now. He should know this by now. I don't know. I just don't believe that he doesn't know it.
Feature film was funded and released by the same distributor that's being casually praised in those videos. It comes off like an ad read. You get the implication that something's going on here. It's suspicious. The incentives be...
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Chris... What fucking goofball.
Behind all of this make the pattern very difficult to ignore. Neon didn't just acquire Shelby Oaks. They invested money into finishing the film and bringing it to release. And Chris Stuckmann is someone who has a draw. He has people that watch his videos. It's a massive audience of film fans who already trust his taste. Marketing departments spend absurd amounts of money chasing exactly that kind of audience. He's a trusted voice, working a Neon title into the middle of a review. It's going to reach more people in a way that feels personal, casual, and credible. So if you look at it from that way, where Neon only, again, this is the tinfoil hat, guys. If you look at it from the perspective of Neon only purchased Shelby Oaks so that they could then have Chris Stuckmann promote all their movies in his reviews, or maybe that's a part of the contract. I don't know. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm schizophrenic right now. But if you look at it that...
Me too. That's fucking crazy.
That way, something's fishy. Like, I don't know.
Something is very fishy. What in the hell? Did Shelby Oaks actually do worse than I thought it would? Or maybe it's just Chris Stuckmann just being really, like, greedy. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to get the feeling that Shelby Oaks did worse than I thought it did. Like, it bumped. Like, I wouldn't say it bumped, but, like, it did probably broke even. It barely broke even, but, like, I don't know. I'm not sure, like, how much of it is him just being greedy or him actually legitimately had, like, a failure or some sort. I don't know.
Imagine if I made one of my normal retrospective videos where I talk about some obscure Japanese movie that nobody cares about, and then all of a sudden I just go, by the way, you should go check out Michael in theaters. It's about Michael Jackson, and I really recommend it. And then I just never say I'm sponsored. Like, how nuts would that be if someone actually did that?
Yeah, you should disclose it. It should be disclosed. Chris. Oh my god. This is upsetting. This is just upsetting. I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know it was this bad. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but, like, I don't know. To me, it's just, like, for the past few months, ever since I heard about the gambling controversy, I always had, like, the feeling that he was kind of, like, becoming the Mr. Beast of, like, the film reviewer space. But it's starting to feel like that way. My like feelings starting to feel a little bit justified a little bit. Sass up.
Oh wait, someone.
Again, I want disclosure. I don't think Christoph is as bad as like Mr. Beast. I'm just saying like it's starting to feel like a little bit like that. It's starting to feel a bit like a little bit.
Is doing that. His name is Chris Stuckmann.
From Osgood Perkins, the director of Longlegs and The Monkey, comes a new breed of nightmare. So don't miss the horror event of the season. Keeper opens in theaters nationwide November 14th. Be sure to check out Keeper in theaters. Once again, it is opening nationwide November 14th.
Look, if it comes off like I'm genuinely upset about this, it's because I am. I know people in my life that have struggled with mental health issues, that have struggled with gambling, and it hurts.
Same here. I have family members who struggle with mental health and whatnot, and seeing like Chris Stuckmann promote something like this it's honestly sad. It's just sad.
Hurts me to see someone like this being so deceptive towards their audience. Transparency is important on YouTube. I just did an hour-long video talking about the McJuggernuggets YouTube channel and how it fell apart.
Yeah, that video is great. I do want to do a reaction to it one day. But I'm not sure it will be like that good because I already seen the video. I know how it starts and ends. I don't know. If you guys want me to react to it, leave it down in the description down below and let me know, because I like Firewood Media. I think he makes a lot of great videos, and he's very underrated in this space. He's very underrated. I think he is like a genuinely he could be like a really good content creator going forward.
Because all they were really doing was lying to their audience time and time again under the guise of it's just a series, it's content. Chris Stuckmann is kind of doing the exact same thing here, where he's being disingenuous, he's not being transparent with his audience, and it's just sad to see. As a former fan, it really sucks to see something like this. He didn't go out in a blaze of glory or some dramatic cancelize it. I'm gonna take this off while I'm doing.
Like Mick Juggernuggets, like I guess in a little bit his defense, like it's obviously a series that he was doing. But at the same time, you're gonna get those criticisms. Like you should let it. I understand like it's for the experience itself, but like you should let your fans know that this is a series. But like I get it. I don't know. Like to me, as cool as the Psycho series is I can understand why some people thought it was legit. Even I thought it was legit, but like you should let your fans know, because some of them do legitimately believe that you're probably in danger.
Is this a funny bit? I don't even know what this fucking video even is. The truth is,
it's a little funny. I like this video so far. This was a great video. This was a really good video, and I'm glad I'm reacting to it.
Chris Stuckmann didn't really go out in a blaze of glory or some dramatic cancellation. He just sort of drifted away from the things that made people care about him in the first place. It's a really weird thing to watch happen in real time.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Like Chris Stuckmann, I watched a lot of his videos. Like maybe like he wasn't like one of my favorites, but like I like watching his videos. I always thought it was very good comfort after like a long days of going to school, and like seeing him just go down this path. I've been seeing like a lot of YouTubers that I used to like that they're just spiraling out of control. Chris Stuckmann, iDubbbz, Boogie, Boogie was always like hated and whatnot. They just stop knowing how to run things anymore, and they just like start to spiral ever since. I mean, iDubbbz is probably more of a worse example than Chris. iDubbbz is like actually like legitimately like he's definitely a shell of his former self and whatnot. And it's just like I've been seeing like a lot of YouTubers lately that I used to like, and it's just sad to see. Just really sad, but I guess that's a part of growing up. Growing up, it's not really your fault. At the end of the day, you're not. This is not like me. This is not like a person I love. This is just a YouTuber. At the end of the day, I should probably have to keep reminding myself that this is not someone that I know personally. This is just an entertainer at the end of the day. So yeah.
Especially when you grew up seeing him as the guy who proved you didn't have to be a screaming caricature to make it on YouTube. He traded that relatable, dorky honesty for a career path that requires him to never say anything interesting ever again. It feels like he's trapped in a cage of his own making. He wanted to be a filmmaker so badly that he killed the critic to make it happen. But in doing so, he lost the very platform that gave him his power. You can't really be a voice of the people, a film critic, when you're worried about what a producer at a junket might think of your latest upload. The blood, sweat, and tears defense that he uses to avoid being negative about movies is really just a polite way of saying that he's joined the club and can't talk trash about the other members anymore. And honestly, that's a lot harder to watch than a typical fall from grace.
You can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
And with all...
In all fairness, Stuckmann was the one who got Stuckmanized.
All that out of the way, I'm Cole McCormick. You are watching Firewood Media.
And you got Stuckmanized.
If you liked what I had to say here, consider subscribing or becoming a member to support the channel. Current channel member names are listed right up here on screen. So if you like these kind of commentary videos, again, I recommend checking out the McJuggernuggets one. I want to make more of these in the future. I'm actually writing one about the very, very early career of James Rolfe, or the Angry Video Game Nerd. So
nice, I like to see it.
Maybe you might like that. It's going to take a bit to write. I'm still kind of getting the points across, but
yeah, that will be a big video.
We'll see what happens. If you'd also like to see some of my movie reviews and retrospectives, then you can click on the playlist on screen right here. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace out to you too. Yeah, that was Firewood Media. This was a good reaction. I like that. I do. If you guys want to see more of this, I would like to do more of these. I probably won't do a live stream just because I'm not comfortable with the live presence of myself, but I might just record my reaction and whatnot. I would like to do more of these in the future, and if you guys like to see this, and in between like the big long Red Dead videos, I like to do some more smaller content like this, like lesser stakes, less editing and whatnot. I would like to do more of these. These are much more fun than like doing some of those. Like, not to say I don't have fun, it's just like it can be a little bit stressful. Anyways, good video. Go check out Firewood Media, and yeah, I'm out.